Okay, welcome. Welcome back for most of you. Welcome here for some of you. Welcome in the final of the Postcode Green Challenge 2012. We've had an exciting morning in this building, in the I building, in one of the other cinemas, and we saw 6 wonderful presentations of 6 young entrepreneurs, people that can make and will make a difference. And this exciting moment is here now. Within the next hour or so, you will know who will be the 3 finalists who can go to New York this week to go to the Clinton Global Initiative there. And there, in the end, one of those 3 will win a $500,000 check for his or her idea. Great to have you all here. As said, an exciting morning. And at that morning already we saw the chairman of our jury. And I would like to invite him now. He's the president of the Carbon War Room. He was the president of Costa Rica. He is a great man, a friend. Jose Maria Figueres, a warm welcome.
Thank you, Frank. Amigas y amigos, ladies and gentlemen, I must confess that until about an hour and a half ago, I was very clear on the way that I should begin this presentation. After, of course, the very laudable and great recognitions that we have all been a part of, I think I should then change my introduction to start off by saying, Sir Bodevin. Would that be appropriate? Congratulations to you and to Frank on your beautiful recognition. I think it speaks so highly of what you have done with this great organization for the benefit of humankind around the world. Thank you so much. Marike, friends from the Postcode Lottery, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being with us this day, this very important day, and this afternoon. You have given us gracefully of your time, and I would like, which is of course our most valuable resource, and I would like to correspond to that investment of time by sharing a couple of reflections with respect to the times we're living in. Before those reflections, 2 comments, if I may. The first, with respect to the Postcode Lottery. I think you do such a fabulous, such a fantastic job. The way you inspire people around the world, the way you give of yourself so generously, the way you come up with innovative programs such as a Green Challenge, which is definitely looking to explore what we can all do together in this very great opportunity that we have of migrating to a low-carbon economy. If this organization had not been invented back in 1989, we would need to invent it today. So thank you for your leadership, and thank you for what you have done. You have brought us, amongst other programs, the Green Challenge, this year in its 6th edition. I had the opportunity of sharing with you some minutes ago some thoughts about the Green Challenge and the way that it, I'm sure, inspires peoples around the world, entrepreneurs that find different approaches, different possibilities within their world to come forward and participate in your Green Challenge. And in doing so, gives them the discipline to focus on their project, hone their skills, develop a business plan, and get much closer to being able to actually making that a reality. Thank you also for having brought us the Green Challenge. So now, to the times we live in. Let me suggest that perhaps we are at an important juncture and a crossroads after 20 years that have been relatively good for the most of us. Up until 2007, we enjoyed 15 years, Up to 2007, we enjoyed 15 years of frank economic growth. Europe grew, you know about that. The US grew as well. Africa grew 5% on average. Latin America, 6 to 7%. Asia, 10, 11%. In those years, we were able to lift millions of people out of poverty. And in China and India mainly, we saw another 500 million come from poverty and come into a new middle global class. That has important effects on consumption the world around as we move forward. If a Martian had been looking down at Earth during this 15-year period, he might have said many things, but one of the things that he could have said is, interesting how Homo sapiens has finally organized their work. They have put together one giant factory in Asia, mainly around China. They have organized one giant consumer in the US, but other parts as well. And in the middle, everybody is doing business and making money. Then came 2008, the beginning of the economic crisis that we have not yet come out of, and with it, we resurrected Keynes, because we were going to spend our way out of our economic woes. That, as a result, has left us with tremendous deficits the world around. When I was in government back in Costa Rica, if you dared have 3% GDP deficit, the World Bank, IMF, IDB, CEPAL, ECLAC, every acronym on the world would come down on you like a ton of bricks. Now deficits of 9, 10, even 11% seem to be what the world has adjusted to. And of course, much more detrimental than the deficit, it has left us with the levels of unemployment which we know today. I often say that if Spain or Greece were in Latin America, they would have already gone through at least 3 revolutions. But clearly, that is not the way forward. And if that same Martian was looking down at us in these years, he could have said many things, but he could have also said, interesting what is happening down on Earth. The governments came in to bail out the markets, spending a lot of money, and now the markets are shorting the governments. Nevertheless, in the discussions that we have today, mainly around economists that are finding ways out of the crisis, you see different approaches depending on who you read. So some say that this crisis and coming out of it is U-shaped. You read another economist and he says this is rather a V-shape. Still others say that we're in a W-shaped situation because we have a double dip. And some weeks ago, in reading yet another economist, he furthered the proposition that this actually looked like the sign of a square root, because we would come out and then we would have tepid growth. My conclusion was that economists by now have gone through all the letters of the alphabet and we're on to a different dimension. But nevertheless, if we look at the environment, these years have also brought us dangerously close to a point in where our window of opportunity is closing. This year we broke 400 parts per million of carbon in the atmosphere. We have seen the records that have been set yet again last summer. And what is worse, we are on a trajectory that would have us over 700 parts per million by the end of the century. In Spanish, we often say, las matemáticas no mienten. Math does not lie. We have 88 years to go between now and the end of the century at 3.5 parts per million per year on average, and that is a low estimate. That gives us 308 plus 400, 708. That, in contrast, ladies and gentlemen, to the 450 parts per million, which many scientists say we should not go over if we don't want to go into this terrain of over or minus 2 degrees centigrades with respect to our global climate system. And that figure, the trajectory on which we are today, the way we are increasing emissions into the atmosphere, puts us on a track record where we have 50% opportunity, 50% risk, 50% probability of seeing and witnessing changes in the world's temperature that will be plus or minus 5 degrees centigrades. The last time we had plus 5 degrees centigrades was about 3 million years ago. Alligators were swimming in the Arctic, and the last time we had minus 5 was about 10,000 years ago at the outset of the Ice Age. Clearly, none of those scenarios one we would want for our future. And amongst this confusion of how do we get out of the economic situation in which we're in with care for the environment, two main responsibilities that we must fight and win towards the future. One is a fight for greater inequality, because yes, even though those 15 years of growth up until 2007 delivered many people out of poverty, it also increased inequality. And there are many people that are living today in conditions that are not admissible for the amount of economic wherewithal and the technology that we have been able to develop on this planet. And the other fight is a fight against climate change. Luckily for us, both those fights, the fight for greater equality and the fight against climate change, can be tackled with the same set of instruments, which is to set ourselves in motion as humankind in the direction of a low-carbon economy. That is a great opportunity, not only of our lives, but of humankind. That is an opportunity much greater than the Industrial Revolution was in terms of creating opportunities for new jobs, this time around for entrepreneurship, investment, creativity, and capital to flow into all of these spaces where we virtually need to reinvent just about everything. The way we work, the way we transport ourselves, the way we live and interact within society. Aiding us in that quest is the fact that we don't have to wait for governments to reach an agreement on how the world will reduce emissions. Today, full 50% of carbon emissions can be reduced while making it a good, profitable business opportunity. And that is where we are convoked and convened to work in. I have the privilege, and I don't use it lightly, I have the privilege of working with a very small but fabulous team at the Carbon War Room, and of counting in that work that we do with the support of the Postcode Lottery. At the Carbon War Room, we identify sectors of the global economy where we can reduce carbon emissions at the gigaton level while making it a good, profitable business opportunity. Gigaton because scale is important, and we need to reduce carbon at that level. And business, yes, because otherwise we don't attract the capital and the leadership needed to turn this around. So at the end of the day, it's about entrepreneurship. It's about changing business models. It's about rethinking everything we do and finding a new way to do it, which is low carbon intensive. And that is what the Green Challenge is all about. It's a celebration of innovation. It's a celebration of entrepreneurship. It's a celebration of free spirit, of people around the world giving the best of themselves and putting it forward de la manera más valiente y más linda, in the most valiant and beautiful of ways, as giving of themselves to solutions which the entire world has to move forward to. The Green Challenge is about broadening our understandings with respect to issues. It's about sharing experiences and learning what has worked in one place and how can we use it yet in a different place. It's about hope. It's about aspirations and making them into a reality. It's about change. Everybody that decides to contribute to this movement towards a low-carbon economy is an agent of change. You can go out of here today and start changing things in your life and in the way your family goes about things, and be a contributing force of good in your community. Our finalists are terrific agents of change, and we celebrate their creativity and their entrepreneurship today. At the end of the day, amigas y amigos, we go through life often having a plan A or a plan B, and sometimes even a plan C. But when it comes to the planet, there is no planet B. This is the one we have. This is the home we share. This is the one we have to make a much better place than it is today. Muchísimas gracias.
Thank you very much, Jose Maria. Wonderful words, inspiring words, I think, talking about the change agents here and making business out of the green challenges we have. You're joined your fellow members of the jury and the pre-juries here. You've done a wonderful job. It might be good you had some applause this morning to give them another applause, because they put a lot of energy in there. Selected 6 finalists out of 509. That's a great task and a great thing you did. Let's go to our finalists. Sit down. For those of you who were there this morning, you saw the 10-minute presentations and you had the opportunity to ask questions. But we do that in all Dutch shows, idols and all that. We have a quick look back at what you did and how your story is. So, 2 minutes for you.
These are the 6 finalists of the Postcode Lottery Green Challenge 2012. Daan Vedepol, Peerby.
Peerby.com is the fast and easy way to borrow and rent the products you need by asking around your neighborhood. It's the world's first peer-to-peer rental platform that actively creates supply by asking around through Facebook, smartphones, and email. It's like a Google for stuff.
Robert Schwemmer, Naporo.
Naporo is producing a natural insulation material that substitutes styrofoam. We are currently wrapping our houses with plastics. Naporo is substituting this by a natural fiber that is diffusion open, biodegradable, and is very good for a room climate. This is the material for the future, for your life and for your children. Thank you.
Orapen Sinamonvich, Cocoa Board.
The Cocoa Board project is about turn agricultural waste into panel board, which has its own unique texture, colors, and fragrance. So our customer can experiment our products for flooring, walling, ceiling, and also the furniture making. It's a new material for our future.
Nick Gerritsen, Carbonscape.
Carbonscape is a carbon refining company. We use microwave energy to take waste into high-value carbon products. Our first clients are in the steel sector, and we're on the verge of actually transforming that sector globally by really opening up a whole new opportunity around green steel.
Molly Morse, Mango Materials.
Mango Materials transforms waste methane gas from wastewater treatment plants, landfills, or agricultural facilities, and using bacteria transforms this waste gas into a biodegradable, bio-based plastic. When these plastics are no longer needed, if they end up at a modern waste facility, they can biodegrade back to methane to close the loop, making this a cradle-to-cradle, closed-loop process.
Stig Westling, Skip to Renew.
At Skip to Renew, we produce biodegradable, non-toxic lubricants from plant and algae oil. We create lubricants with a negative carbon footprint, and we create lubricants for industrial purposes. Currently, there's about 13 billion gallons of toxic lubricants created annually. We have a sustainable approach to this toxic problem.
These are the 6 finalists of the Postcode Lottery Green Challenge 2012.
Yeah, give them another applause. I've been watching them yesterday and this morning, and we've had drinks and something to eat. And I was wondering, watching the movie, what would happen if you, the 6 of you, just start a new company? It might be good, actually. Good idea. Just skip the prizes and start on your own. Entrepreneurs as you are. We're entering the most exciting moment in their entrepreneurial life, and I'm going to ask them on stage only if you give them a very warm welcome. Here they are: Daan Weddepoel, Robert Schwemmer, Oropin Sinamovic, Nick Gerritsen, Molly Morse, and Stig Westling. Our Olympians. Yes. You would do a half banana, wouldn't it? Yeah, that's sort of like we rehearsed it. Okay, Oropin, I'm going to start with you. Yeah. The question is, are you nervous? But the answer is
yes.
Yes. But how did you experience the last few days?
The last few days, actually it's very tired and it's very good experience to attend this competition. And this is a great opportunity, especially for Asian people like me. Yeah.
Well, we were very happy to have you here. Mr. Gerritsen, all the way from New Zealand. What was the thing you learned most in these days?
I found it really reassuring that people are actually taking the issue as serious as this. In New Zealand, we're sort of there was a writer who described New Zealand in about 1880 as a lifeboat, and we're lucky that we do live in that lifeboat. But it means that we are actually separated from the realities of issues, for example, in Europe. So for me, it's been very invigorating coming here and actually being in a place where the issue is being taken seriously, because in New Zealand, they're not taking it seriously enough.
Thanks. Molly, let's say you were in the jury.
Yes.
What would have impressed you most?
I think what would have impressed me most is we're just all really here to try and change the world. I think it'd be a hard choice, and yeah, I would have been really impressed that all of us are, have really different backgrounds and different ways to get there, but we're all just doing what we can.
Well, we're impressed too. Stig, when you were a little boy, what was your dream?
Oh, wow. To have a He-Man lunchbox.
That's great. That's my dream too, yeah. And what was in that box?
Oh, sandwiches, yeah. And maybe a cookie, yeah.
And we're going to have drinks afterwards too. Robert?
Yeah. I wanted to be a researcher.
You wanted to be a researcher? Yes. No astronaut?
No, and it became an architect. And
but there's some research in your presentation, I must say.
For sure. But I don't do it on my own. We have some institutes and partners, they're doing the work, most of them.
This is what all the soccer players say after a great match, and when the winner scores the winning goal, and they say, it's the team. Okay. But that's a compliment for you. But you're the scoring man then. Okay, Daan, ending with you in Amsterdam here. If you look back at 3-4 days you've had with these friends, are you proud to be a Dutchman?
Am I proud to be? Yes, I'm proud to be a Dutchman, but I'm also very proud to be a part of this global society of people from all nations that are, trying to change the world in a better way.
Did they ask you anything to lend to them already?
No, actually, they didn't. Oh.
Do you want to lend anything from Daan? The market is open. Okay, good. Okay, guys, we're going to, nervous or not, and I think you are, because first we do the Facebook popularity poll. There was this assignment for the 6 finalists to use social media to spread the word about their business plan and in that way attract attention and accelerate their business. And who got the most likes? That's the big question. And the one who had wins meet and greet with William McDonough. Now, I was told that the winner of this Facebook popularity poll is Molly Morse. Aha! Dutch flowers. So who are you going to thank for all this?
All my Facebook friends.
How many friends do you have already?
Like 200 or 300.
Oh my God, Molly, that's going to triple or whatever. But a meet and greet with William McDonough, and he has a special message. So turn around, turn the banana, and then have a look at William.
Congratulations on winning the poll. It's always inspiring for me to meet new entrepreneurs who are doing things that make the world a better place. and not just a less bad place, but a wonderful, beneficial place. So I look forward to talking to you, and I'll see you soon.
This is your favorite uncle, William McDonough. Well, Molly, great. And then the big time has come, and I would like to ask our chairman, Jose Maria Figueres, to join me on stage and read the jury report. Mr. Figueres, Mr. Chairman, welcome again.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me, before I begin the jury report, recognize the other part of the jury that pulled this down from over 500 to our 6 finalists. Thank you ever so much. And let me invite my colleagues on the jury to please accompany me up here for the sharing of the jury report. The Postcode Lottery Green Challenge received a record 509 entries this year. The 6 finalists we selected were of an exceptionally high caliber. As always, we have judged each invention on 4 main criteria. How would it cut carbon emissions? Is the idea executable and scalable? Is it creative and inspirational? And can it make it to the market within the next 2 years? We also considered 4 other questions. Will this business empower citizens? Will it be disruptive within its industry? Is the team entrepreneurial and absolutely passionate? And finally, will the prize money truly help speed the product's entry to market? This year, for the first time, we've selected 3 finalists to go to New York. There, one of them will win 500,000 euros grand prize, and the 2 runner-ups will win 100,000 euros each. All of us on the jury want to share with you how extraordinarily impressed we were with each one of our 6 participants, and how much evaluation and soul searching we went through yesterday until late, and even today before this ceremony. The jury wishes to share some comments on all 6 finalist entries, which I will present here in alphabetical order. Nick Gerritsen from Carbonscape in New Zealand. This inventive process could massively reduce CO2 emissions. The company's got a smart team and a working prototype. They've already landed an order from a steel manufacturer. But the business will depend on securing a supply of biomass, and competition could drive prices up. Molly Morse from Mango Materials in the US. This company could change the plastics game with its clever new approach. They've got an inspiring leader and a solid technical team balanced by business expertise. But how can they make sure the polymer will sell to the end users and the products will actually get recycled? Robert Schwemmer from Naporo in Austria. They've got an attractive, safe alternative product, and they're doing a good job of marketing it. The founder and the team are impressive, and 3M has put money on their plan. But if the business depends on agricultural cultivation in wetlands or flooded areas, those variables could make it vulnerable. Orapin Sinamonvek of Cocoa Board in Thailand. This company is already doing a great job of executing its business plan, thanks to its passionate and very determined founder. It empowers farmers while creatively turning waste into a desirable green material. But the niche product is expensive. Can they scale up enough to have a big carbon impact? Daan Vedepol of Pirby. This inspiring service could help shift society away from individual consumption and back to tool sharing, building communities at the same time. The company's presentation and branding are attractive. But how much will it reduce carbon emissions? And will the small transaction charge generate sufficient profit to enable the company's future? Stig Vestlin of Skip to Renew in the United States. This company is already selling its lubricants. These great green products could help to free industry and city transport systems from toxic substances and petroleum dependence. Government policies provide ready demand, but lubricants have a relatively limited greenhouse gas impact. And are the plant sources scalable? Ladies and gentlemen, after having read the jury's report, let me now share with you our decision. The first of our three finalists is Daan Vedepol. Congratulations. I just have to add that when I grow up, I want to be able to rent his shoes. The second finalist is Molly Morse. And the third finalist coming to New York for final recognition amongst the three next Sunday the 23rd is Nick Garreton.
Nick, fantastic. Just a short word of your feelings now, Nick.
It's fantastic, and I'm looking forward to ringing the team back in New Zealand because they're all waiting to hear. So thank you.
Yes. Congratulations. This is, in Holland we call this the March Smeetsva. How do you feel, Molly?
Happy.
I was guessing so. And you probably have quite a bit of new friends on Facebook too, but you're going to call your team too? Are they awake already?
I think it's may be very early in the morning, but I'll call.
Don't worry, wake them up, wake them up. Congratulations. And Daan, our Dutchman going overseas. Your whole team is here. Yeah. Where are you? There they are. A solid rock team, a rock solid team was it? Yeah. I love that movie. How do you feel?
Amazing. Just amazing, yeah. Really excited.
I guess so. And thanks well, congratulations to the three of you, but also, I must say, you're all winners, to the other three who've done a wonderful job in the presentation. A warm applause for them. And there we are then. Stay here for a second. We're going to do a photo opportunity in a minute, but I'm going to tell you that if you want to talk to the winners, or one of the other finalists, or to the jury, or even to me, there's an after-tea party at the Toll House stand just outside here. Follow the green teapots on the floor. It was great to have you here. It was great to have all these ideas here. I think people and ideas that make a difference. This is the example. We're not creating only awareness, but we're working on solutions. And well, let's celebrate the entrepreneurship. And I hope to see you all back in 2013 with the Green Challenge. Thank you very much, and there's a photo opportunity here. Bye-bye.